Alright, cool. I'm just gonna assume we're live as usual. So let me set this up. And hey everyone, FusedVR coming at ya. Today, talking about the news as we do pretty much weekly. And I've been loving the last few sessions that we've had. It's super awesome to talk with you guys and see what you guys are thinking about. So definitely, if you have questions, you have things that you want to see discussed here, definitely leave them in the chat. For whatever reason, I don't think links work, but if you just tell me whatever you want to Google, I will definitely go ahead and do that. So with that said, let's kind of dive into this because I could probably talk here for probably 5 to 6 hours on all the news that's come out in the last week, and it's definitely pre-GDC news and kind of post South by Southwest news kind of merging together. Literally March is always conference season. I never understood why, but that's just what it is. No need to be streaming in 60. That's just the stream key I've used for whatever reason. As far like I've never gotten the 30 FPS to work until I actually click 60 FPS. It's probably a setting somewhere in OBS. Not really, not really sure what it is, but that's kind of the why I set up 60 in the first place. And the Wi-Fi here at SPVR is pretty decent, but yeah, I kind of agree, probably not decent enough for 60 FPS. Hopefully YouTube kind of fixes that. But yeah, while kind of people are getting into chat, let me kind of dive into everything that there is to talk about today. So for starters here, see a couple of you guys have been using the request thread. Super appreciate that because it makes it so much easier for me to actually organize everything. So enable payments in VR, I believe. So if I look at this, there's no description. I'm assuming this is more probably on mobile VR where there's APIs available. Let me write something here. Would this be on PC or mobile? Because that's drastically different APIs to be concerned. Definitely a video, and then Firebase. I'm gonna add that here just because we've done a Firebase video already. But yeah, definitely if you guys have anything, it's just super easy for you guys to throw it into requests if you just go ahead, add an issue here. And that makes it so easy for me to organize, keep track of all the things that are coming down the pipe. As for next weekend, we're probably going to be doing Cardboard AR, the tutorial, as opposed to the explanation. So yeah, that's coming. That one, I think, is really, really well done. So I'm super excited to be sharing that Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific. So that said, let's go ahead, dive into this. This is actually something from 2 weeks ago that I completely forgot to talk about. And this is Jeremy Bailenson article on using VR for, I guess, training for some of the mass shootings that have happened. Pretty serious topic, and reason I want to bring it up, I usually don't like bringing up political things, but I've actually worked with Jeremy, so while I was at Stanford, was in his lab, so I've kind of gotten a little bit more information as far as kind of what his kind of personality is like, and to say the least, he's definitely a very much focused not so much on the technology as much as he is on kind of human psychology, human philosophy, that type of stuff. So that's one of the reasons why he'll try to bring politics and that sort of things into the VR space. Just to say this right out of the gate, I don't really support his opinions at all. There's zero evidence whatsoever as far as VR or video games impacting the behavior of violence towards people, especially kind of in homicides. But that said, I mean, he's not specifically talking about that per se, as much as he is trying to bring a discussion forth, which is, I mean, personally, I don't necessarily agree with the fact that we need to have that discussion just now. In my opinion, it could probably be done once the tech actually gets good enough. I mean, he's comparing training in VR with the actual Vive wands to training with a real gun, which I don't think is accurate. So like I think, in my opinion, you definitely just wait on these types of discussions until a little bit down the pipe, just because I don't think it's practical right now, like in a like a one-to-one sense. But let me know in the chat if you disagree with that, because it's an important topic to discuss. I don't mind that, but yeah, not on I'm definitely not on his bandwagon. And just looking at Facebook comments of it, not many people I think were on his bandwagon, which was kind of reassuring in my opinion to see. All right, next up was Photogrammetry in Unity. So definitely a ton of people and ton of work is getting put into that. And if you don't know what photogrammetry is, at a super high level, what it is taking a bunch of 2D pictures of, say, your phone or your PC or the world, doesn't really matter, and combining those pictures using a lot of math and some computer vision to make 3D models out of them. So there are different processes like removing lighting calculations, so you can apply your own light on the virtual world, and just as simple as reconstructing the VR environment. So those are some things that are kind of making their way into Unity. Usually this is kind of a separate process out of Unity, and then once you have the photogrammetry model, you bring that into Unity. But it looks like they're working towards kind of bringing that process like to be done in Unity, which I think will be super, super cool. Let's see. Also, can someone confirm in the chat if I'm streaming or not? Because no, it looks good. Never mind. I'll keep going. Definitely like seeing stuff happening in the chat. So the more chatter, always the better. I'm also like trying to experiment a little bit with like the timing of when I put out the notifications. So I put this like yesterday morning. And I'm trying to see, hopefully, so that people actually get the notifications out there, because YouTube is being YouTube and not necessarily putting them out as always. But yeah, super cool stuff, definitely worth checking out. And actually, on the topic of SDKs, I'll just bring this up earlier, is cool, sweet. Yeah, definitely love seeing interactions, and definitely it's worth like talking with you guys, because if you're not talking to me, you guys can talk to someone else. There's just, all of you guys are super cool people and developers in the community, so love seeing chatter and introducing yourselves to each one another. And yeah, take it from there. All right, so Google Maps API is the other API I wanted to talk about. This came out literally like yesterday and looks super awesome. Definitely let me know if you want to do a tutorial on this, because there's just so much so much API announcements that Google's actually making, and I'm sure probably Monday, whenever the keynote is for Google, they're definitely going to have a ton of announcements, whether that's AR Core, whether that's something else. Definitely worth checking out as far as how, like, what is actually going to get integrated into Unity. So you can definitely see there are a few more like kind of quote-unquote Pokemon Go clones. I'm not super excited for that, but I'm kind of more excited about actually deving on it, because I think there'll be a lot of cool stuff. Next thing is Ready Player One. So South by Southwest, a lot of people got to saw it. Steven Spielberg was there. And I think this article is particularly interesting. It kind of explains his thought process in making the film. And actually, in seeing it, I'm actually pretty stoked about the movie, even further than I was before. You can see he calls himself a gamer, but he wanted to make this film for non-gamers. A lot of the criticism I've seen about the film is kind of been it doesn't appeal to the mass audience, but I can definitely tell he tried it. And like Ready Player One is pretty much a complicated topic, that's for sure. So I'm stoked for it. Probably will not see it opening night, but soon after that. SVVR is actually doing something here in the Bay Area, so I'm super stoked to see how this film does, and just overall super excited for it. All right, moving along. Valve is working on 3 full-blown VR games, has exceeded its expectations. This kind of came out of the blue sometime in the middle of the week, and it's awesome. I kind of, in our 2018 predictions, this is one of the things I was expecting. It's going to come out with the LG headset, one of their games. Who knows what it is? It's either Portal, Half-Life, or one of the many others, definitely can see that they're working on it and they want to put out content for it. Valve is kind of one of those weird companies, I feel like, where in the past they've said, we don't really care about the VR market. If it does well, it does not, it doesn't really matter to them, which is true because they're a giant like games company or games platform company. But still, I think this is pretty exciting to see that they're committed to actually putting out the content, getting more headsets out. So we'll see where that goes with that. I really want Portal 3 in VR. I think that would be so fun. I really, really want that. We'll see if that actually happens or not, but that would be super, super awesome. Cool. So moving along again, I know there's a ton of things. This just blew my mind when I was like literally article after article. I was like, I gotta share this. I gotta share this. I gotta share this. So Bose has AR glasses, and I'm actually curious what you guys think about calling them AR. Because the title is misleading here. It's not like a visual AR. It's augmented reality in the sense of sound. So I guess what that means is it listens to the environment and or maybe has like a virtual environment that it overlays on the real world. Not entirely sure like how that works, but it's basically adding in sounds to kind of match or better match reality. So, or maybe probably a good example is you're walking around and you see a friend or you see a stranger, it doesn't really matter, and their Facebook feed pops up and it kind of reads you in like their name or something like that if you forgot their name at a party. I don't know. I'm just kind of making stuff up on the fly. I think it's an interesting use case, and definitely I always feel like audio is left out in like the reality world. Everyone loves talking about the visuals, but I think there's like something to be said about audio, and we'll have to see how this goes. But I think there is a pretty I don't know if I want to call it AR just yet, but I think there's an interesting use case as far as helping kind of wearables, if you want to call it that way, take off. Not really sure, but they're putting out an SDK, and there'll be some people who have it. And Bose is one of those headsets that pretty much there's like my dad included, they just love buying Bose and they will only buy Bose. So definitely can imagine some people will get their hands on this, and we'll have to see how that plays out. I'm still a little torn on the term AR, but it has potential. That's as much as I can say, I guess, from this article. Facebook launching AR effects. If you have Facebook, or specifically the Facebook camera, definitely check this out. The way this works is it's the Ready Player One poster. You scan that, and then it just kind of opens up a portal to, in this case, the Iron Giant. But you can just try it here on, like, if you like Google Ready Player One poster, Player One post, Ready Player One, if I can ever spell. And then you just like pick up any of these. We have this working on Instagram if you want to check it out. But yeah, if you just like scan it, it just kind of opens up a portal. It's not perfect, and it's definitely burns through my phone battery life, but definitely worth taking a look at, especially as far as like the fact that that's going to be developer ready sometime soon. So I think they said in April, so probably around F8 they will kind of announce all the list of features that they want to happen with AR Studio. So that I think will be definitely interesting to see how that works. And the last thing that is not GDC news, told you there's a ton, is Qualcomm is working with Tobii to create eye tracking for this headset. They've been doing a lot of marketing for the Qualcomm headset. They actually partnered with Machinima to, I guess, put the headsets in the hands of developers for this like kind of short reality TV show developer contest. It was kind of weird, but I mean, definitely check out, just Google Machinima Qualcomm on YouTube, or not Google, YouTube Qualcomm Machinima VR Dev. You'll find it. It's like a 5-video series worth checking out. So I mean, no one knows the price, no one knows when this is coming out. But it's another standalone headset that's coming out along with Oculus Go, along with the other Oculus thing that I always forget, the Google HTC standalone. There's going to be a bunch of standalones that probably are launching, if not this Christmas, probably like middle of next year. So that's going to be super interesting to see how that affects the VR ecosystem. I'm a huge fan of the Tobii eye tracking. The only problem I have is it's super expensive. Tried buying one, it's like around $3,000. I think they're working to reduce the price on that. But if it does actually become cheap and affordable, that'll be a big deal for this. So super stoked for this. We'll see where that actually goes. And that came out today. So I'm really pumped to see what happens with the Qualcomm headset. That Qualcomm kind of feels like they're kind of an underdog in the whole VR space. So we'll have to see how that goes. And last thing is GDC. Good old GDC. I am not actually going to the conference, although I'll probably be at Unity HQ a lot. If you go to Unity GDC, you'll see that they have a bunch of sessions here. It's literally like GDC Part 2 is happening at Unity. You don't need a GDC pass for this, by the way. So if you're in SF for GDC, definitely worth checking out these events. A lot of them have kind of filled up already, so they just marked with full right here. But definitely, if you want to know anything about this, worth checking out. I will be going, probably do a couple of these and the happy hour, and that's Monday. And then Wednesday, gonna go to the SVVR mixer, and there's this. There's the Unity party, which is at the bottom of this page. I think tickets are already gone for that. Yeah, it's the GDC party. They're both happening at the same time. VR Mixer, I think, still has a lot of tickets if you're looking to get into any party at GDC. High Fidelity is doing stuff. Oculus is doing stuff. Probably HTC is doing stuff as well. There are a bunch of different parties, all invite only. But I mean, these are some of the ones that I'm going to. So if you're around, definitely say hi. I'll be just kind of floating through, but not actually at GDC because I didn't want to pay for a ticket because I'm cheap that way. Cool. All right. So let me go through the chat here. Someone needs to make I think I missed something. Yeah. Someone needs to make a remake of Simcopter. Oh yes, yes. I think there was a helicopter. Wait, isn't there a helicopter VR game? Helicopter. Oh, someone is making something more of a combat game, but that could be cool. This is I think the one I've seen, maybe. This is not quite the same. Nothing's quite the same as Simcopter, but definitely people are playing around with the idea. I think it'd be fun. Helicopter physics could be hard. If you're like actually doing legit helicopter physics, that could be tough. But if you're not and you're faking it, that could be cool. Blue Vision AR. I have not heard of them, but let me look. Oh, is this the one that just got funding recently? Yeah. Okay, yeah. I saw this article, and I didn't read it. So, the app built. Can people try this? Because if so, I'll definitely try it. There honestly, there's so many AR cloud companies out there. Okay, it'll be free. I've met a few, and they're all super hush-hush about it, which drives me nuts. I've seen a couple SDKs, but it's definitely in the works. My personal opinion on the AR cloud is it's gonna be Snapchat, Facebook, or maybe Apple, one of those three that do it. It's just, or even Google actually. Google's in the contender there also. It's just a hard problem, and unless you're gonna do the freaking Magic Leap route, which is just get $2 billion, because that's honestly, you probably need about $1 billion to actually make something like that. Unless you do that route, I don't know how long 14 million is gonna last. I could be wrong there, and it's definitely an interesting problem that I've seen a few solutions to, but it's tough. You need a lot of money, which is why I feel like it's one of the big players that will tackle it early on. I'm pretty a big better on Snapchat. Google comes as a close second, just given how that they did the Google Maps API recently. Um, and then from there, it's Facebook and Apple, which I think are just obvious players. So we'll have to wait and see. Um, I hope they do well, but I I don't think I think it'll just be really hard to get people to use them unless they get acquired, in which case that would be their way out. The Wave VR already. Oh, nice. Did that? Oh, that actually. Oh, I gotta jump into the Wave VR then. Um, the last time I was in the Wave was honestly probably during one of the streams we did way back when. Super fun. But yeah, definitely gotta go. All of those 8 HTC Vive demos look really, really good, even if they're not like Ready Player One specific, but I think they look really good. There's just so much good Ready Player One marketing going around. That Facebook camera lens that I talked about, I think there's probably some like hidden information somewhere in there. I feel like they're like planting the seeds almost to like make Player One happen in the real world, which I'm stoked for if that actually happens. If not, it's not the end of the world. But I could see it happening with so much of the marketing that's going out there, all just hidden in random different places, which is, to me looks really, really cool. Like actually, if you go to like the Facebook camera effect, it has the jade key on there. So there are clues that are lurking around, which are like irking at me. I don't know if anyone's actually put that together, but I think there might be something somewhere, which I'm stoked for. HL3, Half-Life 3 has not been announced because they're waiting for HMD and Knuckles. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Google and LG could be fixing the dreaded screen door effect for your next. Potentially. I think we're still a couple years out because based on what I haven't tried the Vive Pro, but what I've heard from the Vive Pro is that still kind of has it. So probably take a couple more years tech-wise to actually get that. There needs to be a Final Fantasy. Yes, yes, please. That would be awesome if there was a Final Fantasy AR game. Or VR sim. There's so many good ideas, just like copying video games and putting them into VR. They just take time. I wish I had like an infinite amount of time to actually do it because I think it would be so fun. RP1 contest already happened. It could happen again, I believe. I saw the contest. That I think there was another contest that came out. Oh, this was for the book, wasn't it? Yeah, it's for the book. There could be something for the movie. In fact, there probably is something already for the movie. Like, I don't think they have to announce it at this point. Like, I feel like it's one of those things that you just kind of implicitly put out until people find the clues. Maybe not. I could be wrong there. It'd be fun though. Want a tutorial for Gear VR 2017? We've done two. So we've done the one Hassan just put out recently, and the one I put out a few months ago. So we have two Gear VR tutorials. I don't know if those are like specifically what you're looking for. Can you give me a little more detail, like as far as like what specifically? Seeing at Google and LG. Nice. I approve the the link hacking. That's honestly, Jawa, I should just make you a moderator. I'll do that after that. That'll be so much easier.
Today.
Nope.
Right now.
Yeah. Google could be fixing for your next VR headset. Highest resolution OLED display in May. What's in May? Is there a conference in May? Or are they just like YOLO randomly do that. No, I should have. I think I was in college when the book contest came out, so which is probably why I didn't do that. But damn, that sucks. Um, I bet, yeah, you probably would have won if that didn't happen. But that's really rough. Hopefully that's. I guess that was a few years ago, so hopefully it's healed. But damn, that really sucks. Let me read through this. Yeah, I'm gonna butcher this name. Simon? I think that's just Simon. Yeah, I was actually just talking about it among the many tabs. Now I can't find it. Oh, it's over here. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, this looks super cool. We'll have to wait and see like what it actually entails. I think you have to register somewhere. Yeah, I think you have to contact sales to actually. Please don't tell me you have to pay for that, because that would suck. You might have to pay for it, which will certainly that'll make me sad if that's actually the case, but hopefully not. Shit, can you get into this? I might try to sneak into this. Well, we'll see if that happens. If it streamlines it, that would be cool, but I don't. We'll see how many developers it actually impacts. I think that'll be the interesting thing. And then, yeah, I think this will be cool. 18 megapixels, that's insane. Then OLED. What in the world? These are crazy numbers. I believe them. I believe them. Is that 4K though? 4K pixels? If it's 4K pixels, but it's 2K per eye. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if it actually fixes it. All right, I think it's almost half an hour. So, last thing would be, I think it's for licensing. That would be sad if they don't let people play with it first. I agree. We'll have to wait and see it. Honestly, I had such a difficult time getting to this link. I don't like none of the articles except Android Central actually carried this, so I don't know why why that was a thing, but oh well. Finally got to it. It was such a pain though. Oh, okay. A few more last things. More actually. It's before 3. I'm trying to keep these to about half an hour, which is why I like rushed through the news at the beginning. Licensing will be a thing. Number of free hits, the business pricing. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is the best map data in the world, so I feel like they gotta Oh, wait, hang on. Do they have that like generically up there? Oh, okay, cool. Apps or websites that are free for anyone to use. Okay, so if you're doing like non-commercial stuff, then it's free. Cool, great. I'm down for that. And then you have asset tracking and that stuff. Yeah, they're definitely talking about. Is it here at the bottom? Yeah, here at the bottom. They're going to talk about it, and we'll see what happens. I will attempt, if this is not like ticket only, which it doesn't say anywhere, I might walk in. We'll see. I'll make a tutorial with Topbrush SDK using the AirSig. What's the AirSig SDK? So at the moment, don't really have Daydream, so that might make it tricky. But this, I mean, I could do it on Gear. I mean, a lot of that code is just like easily portable. Actually, I hadn't even heard of this, but that's super cool. If it's out there for free to do that, so I'll take a look at it. 3 big games, yeah, those games look solid to me. And if it is, if the pricing is what it says here, that it's free for non-commercial, that's super cool too. So I'll have to wait and see how that happens. All right, I'm gonna take Jimmy's last one, if I can copy it. The struggle is real. I'll just do that because honestly, yeah, it should come up. Lenovo standalone Daydream VR headset will launch right after Google I/O. That's cool. That's super cool. When did this come out? Like 2 hours ago. That's crazy. I'm down. It looks slick. Mirage Solo. So many standalones. I love it. I love it. And I love it. It's going to be a pain to develop for so many different headsets. I'm not going to deny that. But I love the diversity of things that are coming out based on the Qualcomm Snapdragon. Qualcomm is, I feel like Qualcomm is such an underdog in the whole VR space. This is so cool. Coincidental timing. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of Google news at GDC and I/O. I'm so stoked for all of it. Well, we'll see what actually happens. I get stoked every year for all of these conferences and all the announcements. I mean, Sixth Off is honestly the way to go for this stuff. What's up, Weird Videos? That's a cool, that's a funny name. Unfortunately, you just caught us at the end, but yeah, I mean, just based. Normally, I cover like 5 things. This is like 12 different things yeah, it's wild. May 11th. So Google I/O's what? Yeah, Google's got good stuff. Good stuff indeed. All right, so I'm gonna wrap that up here. I'll stick around in the chat until it actually kicks me out. But great talking with y'all. It's been a lot of fun. So much news, GDC, and there will be a lot of news coming after GDC. Probably do the next stream Friday, not Thursday. Just because I'll be coming to SVVR for a wrap-up party at GDC on Friday. But other than that, yeah, super fun. I will catch you on the video on Saturday. Yeah, I'm doing the video on Saturday. Cool. And then after that, GDC week. I'll probably be doing some streams at Instagram as well, on Instagram, maybe Twitter. So if you want to see that stuff, definitely go check that out. And yeah, that pretty much does it again. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. This has been FusedVR, and I'm signing out.